Hello, 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 my friends. Okay, that was weird. I would edit it out, but that's my truth. You know what I mean? That is hashtag authenticity right here. How are you? How are you doing? It's Rach. If this is your first time, what an episode to be joining for the first time. Welcome to it. This is the Rachel LaForce show. That's right. It's me, Rachel LaForce, and this is my show. This is a spiritual podcast from me, a comedian, for you, people who aren't spiritual. This is a place where we're going to talk about all the things, but making it just like fun and easy. So today is one of those episodes. This is a quick and dirty tune up episode all about rest. Yes, rest. I'm not going to labor on it. I recently posted something on my Instagram and it was like rest isn't trendy, restoration is spiritual. I learned recently that even in the Bible, one of the first thing that is referred to as holy is the seventh day when God rested. So it's like, he created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested. And it's referred to as being holy rest. And it's like the first time in biblical text that something is not his creations weren't holy, his rest, which I think is absolutely wild. And really, I was made a joke of like, and it's wild that we all believe in the Bible. But how does she do it? Uh, but seriously, how wild is that? Like, out of everything that was created, and however you define the creator or whatever you believe in, obviously trees and everything else was here before us. It's kind of non-negotiable at this point. Okay, so it's like something created all of this, and the fact that the thing that is referred to first as holy is the idea of resting. And I think it's just been really heavy on my mind and on my person where I'm getting ready. Actually, when you're listening to this, I'm on a 2-week vacation with my husband and my boys. And we're just going up to my mom's lake house, which to me is the best type of vacation because it's like, okay, there's like nature and just rest and family. And it's just like relaxing. Um, and I was like, man, I pre-recorded everything and I did all the things that you do as a, uh, I guess a content creator and a performer and artist at this point. You bulk all of your content, you have it ready to go so that I wouldn't have to, work while I'm on vacation. And I was like, okay, but can you still rest? Because I was like, oh, and then like I can use all my time and I can journal and I can think about like, what do I want to put out and how do I want to put it out? And then I can like edit at night. And it was like, that's not, I think like okay, let's back this up. You don't understand what resting is, clearly, where it was like, wait a minute, you worked double and did all of this work before you left to go out of town so that you could go out of town and rest, but then you're not really resting because you're thinking about all of the things. And part of that is because I love creating and that's where my mind always is, right? Like my life is my art. But it was also where it's like, how much of that is scarcity mindset? How much of that is fear of if I stop, then blank will happen? And that reframe for me has been like, oh, I'm scared that if I'm not working, then my dreams won't come true. That's like the basic, like the most basic part of it. If I'm not working or putting energy into that all the time, then my dreams won't happen, which is not at all true. Number one, that's ludicrous. I hope ludicrous. I hope all of his dreams have come true, though. Shout out to Luda. Fun fact, I was actually a big Ludacris fan when I was like 18. So I have seen him in concert 3 times. Guys, you can DM me and ask about what was that about, Rach? What was that phase of your life like? Maybe you're like, I don't know. I still love Ludacris. I also did not know. Now I've just gone on a rant about Ludacris, but I also did not know that he's in like almost all of the Fast and the Furious movies. My husband just told me that recently, and I was like, what? So much about that whole world I don't know anything about. Okay. One more thing on it, though. I can't let it go now. I did recently rewatch the first Fast and the Furious, and can I say it holds up? R.I.P. Paul Walker. I mean, what just a sexy, sexy man. Ugh. Anyway, I mean, that was Vin Diesel at his finest when he just started. Okay, anyway, rest. So I've been struggling with it myself. And that's kind of where I was like, I think I just want to talk about this, kind of quick and dirty with you guys of like, rest isn't just sleep. Like that's kind of how we identified of like, oh, I did rest. I was sleeping. It's like, no. What is give it a rest, right? Like if you're a lot of times resting is sometimes associated with like baking, like you have to let them rest, right? Or with cooking, like this idea of like to get them to where they, to get something to its finest. So you have to let it rest. And I just love that idea of like, can you let it rest? Can you give it its time to become what it's capable of being? And when we're constantly poking at it and touching it and trying to make it better and really it's also like what is your conscious or unconscious relationship to rest? Like I think I may find the balance. I think that's kind of what I'm always looking for where it's like I don't think I have to go and be like I'm not even going to think about work. I'm not going to touch it. Like again, my life is my art, so that's going to be impossible for me. But it's also going if there are things that come up and it's something that I'm genuinely fueled or excited by, then that we go to. If I'm sitting down to do work, because it's again that scarcity mindset, that fear of if I don't, then blank will happen. We're not doing that. That's not consciously creating. That's not conscious work. That's fear. And we don't do that anymore. So I just offer that to you in your own relationship with rest. Like, what does that look like? And you may be like, Rachel, well, I don't have the resources that you do. And like, it would be nice to rest and I don't have that luxury. But again, relax, just hear me out, where it's like, I've been there where I'm working multiple jobs and you got to go and you got to do this, or maybe you're single parenting or, all of the things. And it's difficult. Again, I'm not saying that rest is the same for all of us. But again, it's that consciousness of, can you be aware of that? Are you in relationship with people that don't allow for rest? I texted you, you didn't text me back. That type of energy. That's the antithesis of this restoration. We have to allow something the space to just be in order for it to become its best, in order to refine even. So rest is not trendy. Restoration is spiritual. Rest is holy. I also think rest in the regards of making it something that's sacred, I think it is the most sacred because, if you're somebody who values your gifts as being spiritual or being divine gifts, that doesn't necessarily mean that like you are a mystic or a healer or something like that. But if you believe that your gifts, the things that you share in your life with the people around you, with your community, that those are sacred, not resting, I think is almost rude. Like it's disrespectful. Like, oh, you've been given all these amazing, beautiful gifts, and then you just like ram through them. Like you're not even taking the time to be with them and to sit and to trust that they're always there, that they're not going to be defined by an algorithm. They're not going to be defined by YouTube numbers. They're not going to be defined by how many patients you have. They're not going to be defined by, like who's who is at your wedding or, the quality of your bags or whatever it is. Whatever that thing for you defines your gifts or, oh, now I've made it, or now this idea that you have to earn rest. Well, I haven't earned it. And I think restoration, taking breaks, nurturing other parts of ourselves than whatever our primary thing is. Your primary may be trying to find a partner. Your primary right now may be trying to get pregnant. It's trying to, break through in your career, get to that next ring, whatever it is. And all of those things are sacred and all of those things are important. But if you are not allowing them the space to breathe and to recover, to allow them to operate at their best selves, to operate almost as an entity outside of yourself, I think that's almost what causes us to get behind more. And I just think it's disrespectful to what we really have the quality to create. And I think that it's just as important. I'm reading from my notes here if you're watching the video version. I think it's just as important as the work. Restoration is integration. Restoration is integration. There's all these things that you're doing and moving through and, I got to get to it. I got to get to it. And it's like, if you are not allowing that, again, it's like the baking thing, right? You got to allow it to rest. It's that same thing. You're not going to integrate any of these new things. You can't, things take practice. They take time. These are muscles like anything else. And they too need time to rest. So I just really encourage you this week to spend some time in whatever way works for you, whether that's journaling or making lists or whatever it is. You know what it is. What does that restoration time look like for you? Maybe it's going to Restoration Hardware. I don't know. I don't know your life. Like sometimes the best rest I get is going to a thrift store. I actually feel better when I leave. And some of you are like, that sounds insane. And some of you are like, you're my girl. I feel the exact same way. So it's also finding like, what are those states of restoration for you? Because it may not, rest also doesn't mean stillness. It can. I think stillness is important. I think it's a part of it. But sometimes I think it's even more in the minutia than that. Meaning, what are the areas of your life that need a rest? It might not be all of it. You may actually need to reinvest in other aspects of your life. It's like, what are those parts where you can go, dude, give it a rest, baby. Let her rest. So just getting really conscious of that for yourself this week as we go through, we're almost to the halfway point of June and, our days are long, and wherever you are in this process of 2023, I feel like I'm still getting a handle on what it is. This year definitely feels like a bridge year for me, meaning like I think I did all of this work and all of this change that led me to here. And I thought this year was going to be the year where like it all takes off and we're really doing it. And now I'm like, I think for me, like this is the respite. This is the integration year. Like all of the integration of everything that you've been doing and everyone, all the people you've been letting go of, even all the people that you have been, all the dreams that have been, all the expectations, all of the old programming, all of it is it's like allowing it to kind of just fall to the bottom of the ocean. We don't need it anymore. Let it just fall off, right? Just like a space shuttle going up, and then it's like all the parts that fall off. Just let it all fall off. And really taking this year to integrate all of those things so that everything, as it does really begin to take off, you're taking all of you with you. You're not having to learn who you are, what you want. You already took that time, that rest, and that integration. Restoration is integration. So that's it. That's all I wanted to leave you with today is just this, I just thought that was so interesting that it's the first rest is the first thing that's identified as holy is, Shabbat or the Sabbath is the first thing that's defined as holy. And I just thought it was funny. It was like, and on the seventh day he rested, and on the seventh day he posted anyway because he was afraid of the algorithm. Like that's not what it is. So feel free to take your power back. Rest also, I think, shows great power. People that have the ability to trust, like, yes, there's something to knowing, like, oh, this is my wave, I got to go with it. Like, yes, know your discernment of when this time is. Like, again, this year of restoration and this bridge year, this may not be it for you. Right now, you may be in the period of breaking down. You may be in the period of when everything's taking off, right? So this is something, again, what I love about these tune-up episodes, this is something that you can circle back to time and time again. What's coming up for you? What's changing for you? So that's it. That's it. Take God into everything you do, and whatever that means to you. Keep it light, keep it holy, baby. This has been a quick tune-up episode on rest from me, Rachel LaForce. If you're wanting to learn more, if you want to work with me, you want to get involved, please go to rachellaforce.com. You can work with me. I offer free 15-minute sessions. If you want to jump on, just get some clarity on one question, we can tackle it. If you want to see if I might be the right guide for you, the right coach for you, I would love to work with you. I do 3 6-month retainers. We can do one-off sessions. I'm really open to whatever it is that will work for you. I'm here to help service you. This is not about me. So I just have some ways that I've been working with clients. It works for me. If you're like, hey, Rach, this is what I'm looking for, let's see if we vibe. It's something that we can do. I do circles. I do workshops. I marry people. I'm doing a wedding in June this month. So if that's something you're interested in, get at me. I'm so grateful that you're here. I can't even thank you enough. There's a lot of big stuff that's going to be happening in this next year. So yeah, I hope you'll come along. That's it. As always, I hope you get your rest. I will let you know, report back all about how the balance of rest and play goes on my vacation. But for now, tune out, tune in. Love you, mean it.